So let me pull the camera up a little bit so you can see me. How is everybody doing this weekend? Oh my gosh, it is Monday only. It's not weekend. How's everybody doing the beginning of this week? Are you all ready for Thanksgiving? I am so ready to have some family time. We're not doing a big, well, we weren't going to do a big Thanksgiving, but it just seems like we're adding somebody else's favorite dish and somebody else's favorite dish, and it's going to end up, we're going to have more food than we know what to do with. But I just like the time of togetherness and being with family and the closeness. It just blesses my heart. And I'm kind of the one that is pushing Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners and Easter dinners because I like that togetherness. So who is the one in your family that advocates to have a Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner? And honestly, it is not about the food. It is about being together. It is about the familyness. And I told my granddaughter when we were there yesterday, I said that we're going to be playing some games. What game do you want to play? So her mama gave her some suggestions, and then her papa said, we're not going to play that game with a shark that eats my finger all the time. And she said, we're going to play the shark game. Was it the shark or the alligator? I cannot remember what it was, but anyway, it's one that grabs your finger, and so that's the one she wants to play. So we're looking forward to see what she decides, what games we're going to play. But I'm glad you guys are here. I think it's a shark. I think it's an alligator, not a shark. I don't know why I said shark. We are going to be working on this wood stocking. This one is from Hobby Lobby. I have to think where I got this from. I get things from Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and Craft Deals. This one is from Hobby Lobby, and it is a little over 12 inches from the top to here. And if you go diagonally from here to the end, it is 16 inches. And the top is 6.5, and then right here altogether it's about 9 3/4. I took the string out already, and if you could see, I have marked out where my transfer is gonna go, and we're going to use those tiles, those embossed tiles from, hey, Miss Judy, how are you feeling? Hey, Miss Bonnie. That you get at Dollar Tree. These kind of tiles. And I've already cut mine down to save time. And I've already cut the piece out. I am very close to both edges, so I've got to make sure that I'll have some glue down right here so that it will hold. And I laid it out the way I want it laid, and then all I did is I just marked it out so I know where my transfer is going to go. The transfers are sold out, but you can always put your name on the list to be restocked. I'm using one of the Scandinavian transfers, my Scandinavian Christmas, but you can always put your name on the list to be notified when they come back in stock. And we are going to use this cute little guy. I just thought he was just really darling. We're going to age all of this up and make it a little bit more vintage looking, but for right now, I did turn my glue gun on. I am going to paint on the inside in this lush green color because my transfer will not show completely through. I will have white spaces, so and instead of having white spaces like right here, I am going to color that in with this lush green. And I won't need much. I am just gonna go a little bit to the outside. I don't need to color all of it in. And the reason I'm on a little bit earlier today is I want to be able to get this done so you guys can get to see what it looks like. I'm just going to use an itty bitty tiny brush. And all I really want is, I just want a little bit of color in here. So in case it's not in case, I know my transfer will not fit completely. And everything else is going to be covered by the tile, so I don't have to worry about painting anything else. I literally am just going around my little cutout here. And of course, since we know that we are using a transfer, we will have to dry this really good or our transfer will not stick. And then we will also use fabric. And we will also do a Christmas tree, a wood Christmas tree. These are just some simple shapes and forms that we can dress up. I have not worked with a towel before, so this is my first time working with it. I have done one other project that I've tried, but I've not really worked with it much. Like I said, you don't have to be exact because most of this is going to be under that gray tile. And one other thing I'm going to tell you, the way I cut my tile, it would not fit completely of the odd shape of this stocking. So I will have a little space down here at the toe that will not have that tile. But I'm okay with that because I found something else we're going to put there. We're going to make it work. I'm going to put another little coat on here just to make sure everything is covered really good. Like I said, we won't need much paint for this. I think we've got most of it covered. We will see here in just a moment. Let me dry this real quick. I love that color green too. That's one of my favorite. Hey Cindy, hey Kimberly, thanks for sprinkling and thank you for wishing us all a happy Thanksgiving. Yes, I am early today. I didn't want to interfere with Amanda's time, and I knew that me attempting 2 projects might run over. Well, we know I'm going to run over. I always run over. I've got one spot right there that needs to be dry a little bit better. And I'm even going to sand this, even though this isn't much. I just rather have it sanded. And I know it looks weird like this, but it should work. And see, right here is where I have my little empty space, just the way it cut out, it would not fit. Okay. I see right now I've got a spot right there that I need to fill in, and right here. So I'm going to pick this up. I'll extend this up a little bit. again. You know what? I am gonna do a really light coat. I'm gonna do cream in the middle. I am gonna do light buttermilk in the whole middle part. That way it will not look funny, just in case. It'll make me feel better. And see, this is not completely cream since I've used that green. Our Hobby Lobby didn't have much deco art paints left, and I didn't realize it until I was at home. It said that the paints were 99 cents, and that charged me $1.17. So if you go out and look for deco art paints at your Hobby Lobby, just make sure that they charge you right. And if this doesn't look right, you can always add a little bit of paint later. And I've got too much paint on here, so I'm going to have to take my paint off. We'll have a nice decorated paper plate. So what do you like most looking forward to Thanksgiving? What are you grateful for? What are some blessings you've received? What are some things that just make you feel special about Thanksgiving? I know Miss Cindy is excited about her grandbaby. And are you traveling? Hey, Miss Nikki. Hey, Barb. And is everybody traveling to family, or is family coming to you? Are you cooking a big traditional Thanksgiving, or are you more of a, oh, you are after my own heart. I love cranberry sauce. Do you make it from fresh cranberries, or do you use the canned stuff? Oh, that was the wrong sander. I make mine from fresh cranberries, the jelly kind. And do you do traditional or, oh yeah, that's better. All right, now that I know where this is going, I can add my transfer on here. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to hold this for just a moment. I'm going to sneak my transfer under here. That'll look good. I'm trying to line him up the best I can. Now I'm going to make a mark. That way I know where to put him. I'm making a mark here and a mark here. That way I know where to line it up. Now I've got my line here and a little line here, so I know how to line this up. Yep, everything will look good. See how I've done that? Nikki, you are such a sweetheart. Thank you so much for the stars. You'll be cooking a big dinner. Do you like to cook? Your daughter-in-law's making the ham. See, that's what we used to do. Oh, 1 block away, but it's still fun. We used to do where everybody brought something. And, you know, my mother-in-law would come, and I didn't want her to make a whole bunch of stuff, so she was in charge of making desserts. So she would bring the dessert. Mainly chocolate pie, that's what the kids would request. My daughter-in-law would make something, I would make something, my daughter would make something, so we all chipped in and everybody made like what they were good at, what their specialty was, or what we liked from them. It's like my daughter always has to make spinach dip and bring chips and spinach dip. My daughter-in-law, she makes some people call it a Waldorf salad or a pistachio salad, and my mother-in-law absolutely loves that, so she's making that. My son will make the turkey. I'll bring the ham. So we always have our assigned things, and our dinners are not always the same. Sometimes we have potato salad, sometimes we have mashed potatoes, sometimes we have gravy, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have dressing, store-bought, sometimes we have homemade dressing. So our staples is always a green bean casserole, most of the time turkey and ham and deviled eggs, and then the rest of it, it's just whatever we feel like that year. So it's always fun to kind of see what we have this year for Thanksgiving, what's going to be on the menu. But it's just fun to be together. And like I said, this year we're going to play games with Bristol, so it will be fun. My daughter-in-law is going to be working, so we're going to celebrate with my mother-in-law, and then we'll wait until my daughter-in-law gets home from work, and we'll celebrate with her. But yeah, I make my cranberry sauce. I have to have my cranberry sauce. Turkey and cranberry sauce go together. Those are just staples that have to be. I just love the taste of turkey and cranberry sauce. And I'm not much of a turkey. I don't really eat turkey. I could do without turkey. I have to have my ham, but I could do without the turkey. king crab. Mustard. I use mustard and mayo for my deviled eggs. A little bit of mustard, mostly mayo. But I put a little bit of, I don't like the vinegar-based ones. I put a little bit of Maggi in mine. That is my season for deviled eggs. My seasoning, I should say. And my son and my husband absolutely love deviled eggs. I'll devour them. I think Bristol likes the yellow part in the middle. I think that's what she eats. Okay, in hindsight, I should have made that more light color than dark. I didn't think about his beard, but I think we're still going to be okay because I'm hoping that that will mostly be covered. If not, we'll fix it with some paint. It's fixable. We should do a recipe exchange. Whoop, what happened here? We should do a recipe exchange one day with like our favorite recipes. I also have a line up here. If you've noticed, this is not completely straight across, but I had to have a straight line in order to line my little template up. So I made myself a line up there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, but you know, once we age him out, I think he will be fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this on, and I'm just going to glue in sections. That way I'm gonna try to glue it in sections. Let me get this on here first, and then we can finish out the rest. And you guys know that this will get hot from your hot glue, so be aware. And I was going to use a little bit of this glue too, so in case my hot glue wasn't completely working. It's not too hot. My glue is a little stuffed up. My little cords are stuck together. I forgot that I didn't have to glue that right there, that my glue was not going all the way down. Good thing you just pull this off when it's dry. I am going to stick some glue under here in just a moment. Right now I am just trying to get the majority of this on here. Oh, that was hot. That was hot. Now I'm just going to stick a little bit of glue under the edges here. Oh man, I got glue on Santa. My glue gun is dripping. I have to wait until the glue dries and hope it does not lift my transfer up. My glue gun was dripping down. Right here it is okay because I'm going to add something over top, so I am not too concerned about the glue right here. We will cover that up. And we can recover this too, so we are good. I'm going to try to get a little bit more glue right here. Like I said, we will age all of this out. That's what we have so far. Before we age this out, I am going to take Waverly plaster, and I will paint this whole thing in Waverly plaster. And it is okay if I go over the top right here. We will glue some fabric to the top. Glue string. We're going to use some Waverly wax and maybe the dark antique wax. I haven't decided yet what all I want to use. And I will do a second coat. And I will switch to another brush here in just a moment. I will switch to a round brush so that I can get the small spaces. Switch to my other brush. It's just a regular round brush. That way I can get down to the parts that I need to get to, and I even got a little bit on Santa, but that is okay because we're going to use that brown wax and we're going to put some around the edges right here. So it is okay if your hand goes over the edge a little bit, if you're not completely precise. You guys know me, I gotta turn my project. I've already done some of the prep work on the tree, so the tree will not take as long. Who has worked with this type of tile before, and what did you create? Had another little Fourth of July stars. Oh yes, I remember those. Where? The stocking is from Hobby Lobby. Sorry, my brain was like, what was that place called? Hobby Lobby, that's the place. I love the aging out part. That is going to be so pretty when all of this will come to life, so to speak. Okay, now that we have all the edges done, I'm going to go switch back to my big brush. And fill this in. Remember, this is supposed to be aged looking, so if it is not completely covered, it is okay. This brush might not have been the best brush to use for this. It depends on your brush sometimes how your paint is put on. Sometimes you just need to switch to a different brush. And since this one is all fluffy, this was not the best brush to use. I should have used one of my other brushes. I am going to try to go in one direction. So that it will look the same or very similar brush stroke wise, and not having some up and down and some diagonal and some horizontal. Wait till you see the fabric. I'm going to dry that for just a second. Oh, I keep switching. Hey, Miss Cindy. You made a bunny butt using one of those tiles? I bet that was cute. I'm going to do all the antiquing and stuff before I move on to the fabric. I am going to do one more quick coat on here. I love this tile. It is just so pretty. I want a good coat of this cream color paint on here. And this is plaster by Waverly. Sorry, I couldn't think of what the color was called. I am happy with that because we're going to add things to it. one more dry, and I'm gonna close this up before Plaster by Waverly, before I end up wearing it. And I'm going to use the Waverly wax first, and then I might use some of the Kills wax as well. And chalk paint does dry fairly quick. And I'm going to use a wipe to wipe it back where I want to wipe it back. And this will give it our vintage look. Now I'm going to go up a little bit, even though I know we're going to have paint there. And I'm getting ready to wipe that back a little bit. And this is a fun process because you can repeat it. You can add more, you can add less, you can wipe back more. You can make it very uniquely yours. And you just keep repeating the process until you have it to your desired liking. And you can see me, I am going on to my transfer. And if I get too much on there, I'm just going to wipe it back. I'm going to finish the end off, even though we're going to put fabric on there. I'm just going to finish it all out. go ahead and finish this out, and then I'm going to wipe that back. Turn to another part of our little... Thank you for sprinkling, ladies. And again, we can leave as much as we want to on here, or we can wipe it back. That is completely up to you on how much you want on here. I've got it a little lighter on this side than I have it on the other side. And I think I'm going to dry it for just a minute and then add a little bit more darkness to it. I like it darker in some spots. Oop, I better close my glue before I glue things down. While we wait on that to dry a little bit, I am going to use some of my ground espresso. Well, we cannot have a vintage Santa if we don't have a little bit of grunginess on him. I'm going to take some of that dark wax and I'm just going to go in the corners right here. I am going to use a little bit of that of that Waverly wax to go in those corners. Because we want it to look older. A little bit aged. And this will also hide some of your imperfections. If there's things that did not turn out the way you had planned. But it also gives it the shadow that you would expect to see in an older piece. And sometimes I just like to stipple a little bit instead of having those straight lines. I like a little bit of the texture. It just makes it look better than having those straight brush strokes. And then anywhere that you want it to be a little bit more dark, you just add a little bit more of the antiquing wax. Like, I think this should be a little bit more dark. I think we need to add a little bit more. Right there, we had a white spot right there, and a little bit of a white spot there. And again, you step back from the piece and look at it and see where you think you might need a little bit more darkness. What do you guys think? Do we need to add anything else? Does it look good like that? Thank you, ladies. Let's dry this up. I still don't like him being he is too white for me. I think that will do. If we don't like it, we can always wipe it back. Now look at the fabric. Is that not beautiful? this piece is going over the toe. Because I had to, you know, fix that because it wasn't complete. I am just gluing this on. Tugging everything in. Because I wanted to have halfway decent looking. Oh, that was hot. And you can do your back side however you guys want to. I just wanted it to look halfway decent. I could even put that right there to cover it. And there's our little stocking so far. I did not pay attention. I was wanting to have the green in the middle, but it's okay. I didn't pay attention to that. I should have, but I didn't. Now, should we keep the hole and make it a hanging stocking, or should we add a hanger later? Now this time I am going to pay attention because I will have that green in the middle. This fabric was a napkin I got on clearance last year or the year before. If you want to stuff yours, you can stuff it. And I probably will come back and paint the back side. I just don't like leaving mine bare. And that's what we got so far. And I'm just going to take this and put a little bit of jute around it. And then we can hang it from the jute. Now, where's my other jute? And if you want to, you can stuff it and make it a little bit thicker. But I didn't want to do that. I gotta turn it my way for just a second. And I will add the hanger to the back of here, and I'll add the hanger to it. And that is our little stocking. Like I said, I will paint the back. But did that not turn out really cute? I love the fabric with that little Santa. I think that turned out really pretty. And this was an old napkin that they had on clearance for, I think it was like 90% off. And in order to fix that little boo-boo, I just thought adding that as the toe turned out really good. Thank you for the heart, ladies. I love it. Now let's knock out the other one real quick. This is a tree from Hobby Lobby as well. I went ahead and painted it, I think it's Ethereal Mist from Country Chic. And then on the bottom, I added light buttermilk. So I painted it all the way, front and back, and sides, and everything else. I cut out tiles to fit on here. And I am going to turn it this way. It'll be easier for me to see. Get another glue stick. I am going to move this over. That'll be easier to get to. Move this out of the way so I won't accidentally glue this. Same thing here. I'm lining it up and gluing it down. Thank you, ladies. Oh, I appreciate that. And like I said, I will add a hanger to the back. But I just thought it was so cute. That fabric just matched so well. And I will add a little bit more glue to it. I'm just going to glue it down real quick for us. I will add glue if it needs it. If it doesn't need it, I'm not going to add any more extra glue. And we will do the same thing. I will paint that real quick with the Waverly. I'm going to get me a different brush and see if that will make a difference. Oh, much smoother. See, the brush does make the difference. And again, the tree is from Hobby Lobby. The tile is from Dollar Tree. And the Waverly you can get at Walmart. And all I've done with the tree is I went ahead and painted it in a cream color to get ahead of the game. And thank you, ladies, for hanging in there with me. I appreciate that. I knew that the projects today would take a little bit longer, but you're going to love it. This tree is going to be gorgeous. You can add a tag to the tree. I don't have one picked out, but I thought about adding a tag. And you can use the Essential Stencils. I did link the transfers, even though they are out of stock. And if there's anything you need from Essential Stencil, or you want to check on, they've restocked some things, and I got sales going on, all kinds of things. You can do hashtag ES. And then my code is not hashtag, exclamation mark ES. And then my code is exclamation mark WK. No, code. Let's try that again. Exclamation mark ES will get you to the Essential Stencil page, and exclamation mark code will give you my code, which is WK21. Goodness, that was hard. And if you would like to be notified, another public announcement, you can use exclamation mark notify, and it will let you know when I'm going live. Sometimes I wonder about myself. Goodness gracious. Speaking is obviously not my strong suit today. And again, how much paint you put on here is up to you. How much of that tile you want to see through, how much you don't want to see, all that is totally up to you. You control with your paint on what you want to see through, how much. And sometimes you go over too many times and it rubs off. I am going to use champagne gold. And I am going to use a chip brush. And I've got very little paint on the brush. That spot right here is not dry yet, so I'm going to have to dry it a little bit more. And all I did is load my brush and offload it. And very lightly. And this is Champagne Gold by Deco Art. And again, how much or how little you want is totally up to you. And that looks good enough for me. And if I want less, I can take my wipe and wipe things back. I'm going to dry that real quick. And this looks good just the way it is. You can put a stencil on here with some design. I am going to use Mod Podge. Because I'm going to add fabric. Oh, my Mod Podge brushes are dirty. We're going to Mod Podge fabric on here. The reason I'm using Mod Podge is I wanted a smooth surface. I don't like the way glue sometimes leaves humps and bumps. That's why I chose to use the Mod Podge. I cut a piece of fabric. This was, I believe, a tablecloth that came from Hobby Lobby. And I just basically just shredded the sides. Just ripped it, I meant not shred it. I forgot to put Mod Podge on here. I will do that here in just a moment. I can get to it from the back. To put the Mod Podge on right now, I'm just trying to get the fabric squeezed in here. Okay, now we can apply some more Mod Podge and Mod Podge the rest down. I have not intended to put a coat of Mod Podge over top because I don't think it is necessary, and I will cut the edges off. I have to get that. Get my trusty scissors back out. And that's why I painted it in that light color, so that once I cut this off, it will all blend in. So we have so far. I'm going to do the top. And I cut a little piece off. It has a little star on the top. This was also a tablecloth that I got last year from Hobby Lobby. So the one I used for the stocking was a placemat or a napkin, I cannot remember. And the other one was, these two are tablecloths. This one is not sticking right here. I'm going to have to put a little bit more Mod Podge on there. This edge off. And so we have so far. I felt the bottom needed something, so I took a piece of notebook paper. I kind of slit and cut the middle part out so that I can put this through. Like that, and glue it down. And that is scrapbook paper, also from Hobby Lobby. And we can leave our tree looking like this, but I'm going to make a bow. Thank you. I thought this would look good. I am going to, I've got a little bit of extra edge right here, so of course, now that I'm trying to hurry, my sanders don't want to cooperate. How come when you try to hurry, things take longer? Isn't that just crazy? edge. That's what we have so far. Think we should leave it or add a bow? I am for adding a bow, and this is what I had in mind. I've got all these fabrics. Well, why is this not working today? Like I said, when you try to hurry, things don't want to work out. Got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And this fabric, for the most part, is sort of kind of double-sided, so I don't have to pay attention to wrong side and right side. I'm putting this burlap in as well, just for some texture. And then I'm just going to repeat a couple of these. And then the rest of them, I am just going to put, just loop them through and leave them hanging along. Sorry, my nose is itching, ladies. I know Miss Amanda is on already, but bear with me just another moment. Oh man, I forgot to put my piece of string in here. Darn it. Hold, please. See what happens when you try to hurry? Ay, ay, ay. It's okay. We got this. And now I am just looping. I've got my bow loops on the top, and now I am just going to add different fabrics in here. And I found this fabric, one with the music notes, so I'm going to put that in here. Got some more strips of this. And this is going on the top of the tree. And then we're going to add a star. And I just wanted extra tails on here. And the music notes, so it will match with the bottom part. This almost looks like a rag tree now. I added ribbon. Like I said, this got a little bit of everything in here. But I think we're pretty good. I don't think we need anything else. I'll do one more piece of the lace ribbon. I'm going to go ahead and turn this to the back. This is probably not the best ribbon to tie this with. Just don't triple tie it. That way I know it will not come apart. Now we can fluff our bow out. And see how it has the long tassels now? And I thought we'll add it to the top right here. And then I was going to put some of that gold paint on here and add that to the top. What do you guys think? Oh, Sharon is filling in for Amanda. Oh, little Mr. Huntley. Let me put my brush in the water. Should we leave the star like that or add a little bit, dry brush a little bit of that gold on there? I thought dry brushing a little bit of that gold would be pretty. I'm just using that same brush. There we go. It's not completely covered. All right, let's glue this on first. I'm going to put a pretty good big amount on there because I want to make sure that this bow will stay put. I'm hoping that that is in the middle. I'm doing this upside down, so whoa. I keep telling you guys, metal gets hot, and there I am burning my own little fingers. Okay, now the question, how short should we cut these strips? That is the question. I'm leaving some of them longer and I'm going to cut some of them shorter. And I'm cutting them all at an angle. And I will do the rest of them later. But what do you guys think? And I will fluff that bow out a little bit more. And I am okay with if they're not all the same length. I think that makes it look better. I still got to fluff it out a little bit, but what do you guys think? And I'm thinking about adding maybe a little bit of the dark wax to the bottom and painting a little bit of that gold on the stem. Just to have a little bit of differentiation. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. And this is our 2 projects. We've got our, and I will fluff that bow out a little bit more. I'm going to leave that sitting like that, clean my mess out. 2 completely different projects with tile. And I'll add a hanger to this one. Same type of tile, 2 different projects. Which one's your favorite? I like them both. I don't know. I can't pick a favorite. I think this would look much cuter with a snowman. I'm just kidding. I love snowmen. But even from the back, our tree is pretty cool. Okay, let me draw a name for our happy mailbox. Miss Judy. Miss Judy is going into the happy mail. I'm sorry for keeping you ladies so long. I knew it was going to take a moment to do all of those. Miss Judy is going into our Happy Meal bucket end of July, goodness, end of December. We will pick a lucky Happy Meal recipient. I appreciate the stars, the thumbs up, the hearts, the comments. You guys always bless my heart. If we do not see each other before Thanksgiving, have a blessed, marvelous, wonderful Thanksgiving and enjoy time with family. And, oh, Miss Judy fell out of the Happy Mailbox. Right there, going back in. Enjoy time and be grateful and thankful. Have a great night, everybody. Hop over to Essential Stencil and support Miss Sharon. Be blessed, and I will see you as soon as I can come back live again.